welcome back. We're still discussing youthful etiquette and leadership core values. This takes me to the next question. Are there some etiquette and core values, principles to adhere to by our youths? Yeah, especially because we are dealing with the youths now.
Yeah, absolutely. There are different kinds of core values. There are different types of etiquette that are globally accepted, that morally accepted, that in this society you go to, that is accepted everywhere. I want to start first of all by looking at some of the etiquette that are generally accepted. A youth must learn to be polite. Must learn to be polite. A youth must learn to have empathy.
Empathy, yes.
Yeah, empathy is a foundation of etiquette. Empathy is putting yourself in the position
of the other person.
Trying to feel how the other person feels. You must learn as a youth not to return rudeness for rudeness. But that is what our culture preaches. No. We must learn that someone is rude to you doesn't mean you should also reciprocate with rudeness. Rather, you should choose to be polite. You should choose to be respectful. You should choose to be nice to the person. As you're doing, you're only telling the person, I am more mature than you.
That is it. You're not a coward by doing that. No way.
Returning root for root means you are condescending to where the person is.
To that person's level.
To that person's level. But that is what is obtainable. At times when I drive around the city, and someone will ask for a way of right. Can you allow me to come with a pointer? Instead of me accelerating, I slow down and allow the person to come. Some minutes after, and you see someone, when you give a pointer, the person will accelerate. At times I wind down and I tell them, have you taken the road to your house? The road you are accelerating, the road is still there. And both of us are going to the... So we must learn to be polite. We must learn to be respectful. We must learn to be kind. Then, like I said, there are many core values and etiquette. You must learn etiquette of dining. The etiquette of dining, that when you go to a party, you are invited. You sit on the table. There are different meals that are being served. You must learn each of them. You must learn how to sit and how to eat on the table. There are social etiquette. There are marriage etiquette that you need to learn when you get married. You don't need to be rude. You don't read things on the social media. You must learn also to see how to respect, as part of your etiquette and upbringing, how to respect the elders, whether it's your dad or not your dad. It is expected, whether the person is married, whether it's your wife or it's not your wife, or if you meet a lady on the way, you step aside and allow her go. You either open the gate for her to go, or your sister come down the staircase. But our society does not show that.
You don't.
We wait. I say, no, I'm not going to help her, and all of that. Those are some of the basic etiquette. There are a lot of it. Etiquette is a broad subject. That anybody who is serious about it, you can sit down and learn about it. Then for core values, I'll just give about 5 core values. Integrity. It's a currency that when you have it, you have all. Integrity is a currency you can take to the market. When you say it, you do it. There was an organization that I worked before in the course of my career. If you go to the organization, the MD called me Mr. Integrity. You walk into my office, you tell me this person said this. I say, please, can you just hold on? I will invite the person. If you cannot repeat what you're telling me in the front of the person, then it's not worth discussion.
Exactly. Are you a liar?
So youths must learn to walk by their words. Go by your word. When I say A, let it be A, irrespective of the consequences. Over time, it will make way for you. Over time, that currency will open doors for you. Honesty and transparency is another value. Be honest. Be honest. I tell my kid, irrespective of whatever thing you do, once I ask you, tell me that I did it.
Or that I did not do it, and you know.
I know. And they know I will not. Once you tell me I did it, that is all. And when you take this, it takes you up the ladder. organization, the corporate world, are looking for people who have honesty, they are transparent, and they have integrity. When you have these three values, I can tell you anyway, they will speak for you. And be disciplined. Be disciplined. Be disciplined. Everything valuable, there is a price. And only those that pay the price of dedication, hard work, that gets it. Nothing comes cheap on a platter of gold. There is a price to be paid. An Eroko tree that you see standing and withstand the storm must have sent his root down. Values are like roots you send down that sustain you. When the challenges of life come, you'll be able to stand.
As a matter of fact, there are many, etiquette, as you mentioned, the very ways. Do you know keeping to your promise is one of the etiquette? Yeah. You promise something, you keep to it.
Yeah.
But now, no, I'm coming. The person is already going. But you say, I'm coming. So there are many things. Like you mentioned empathy. You say, treat others the way you want others to treat you. If we are practicing this, I tell you, there will be no problem in Nigeria. In fact, the entire world, there will be no problem. But we don't even think about that at all. Sometimes we are so selfish, only ourselves, that we know. And so what happened to the other person, you're your own. It's not supposed to be. That's why we're saying it. Because they use particularly the people replacing us. I always say it. I'm already marching towards my grave. TB Joshua that died, I'm older than him by age. But he's gone. This is a big man taking care of others, feeling for others. But he's gone. So when you remember this, you do things well.
Yeah,
do things well. It's a very short place. This is a short place. So that's why we're teaching you this, youths. You have a long way. You have a longer way than us now to live. So change your world by these etiquettes. Do the right thing at the right time. We all know the right thing to be done. Thank you. Take a break now. Vivid View.
Safe and truth.
Welcome back. Still discussing youthful etiquette and leadership core values. This takes me to another question. Could there be factors that promote moral decadence among youths?
Yeah, there are many of them, but I will just narrow down to a few, as time will permit me. The very first one that promotes moral decadence among youth has to do with peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure. The tendency of I want to be like Benga. I want to be like Maria. Maria, I've done this. Benga, I've done this, so I must also do it. I want to be. And in the process of trying to be, I want to be, you mix your self-identity. Youth begin to suffer from identity crisis. We are not all the same.
Not at all.
We are unique.
And can never be the same. Never.
And as long as we are human beings on this earth, we can never be the same. All of us in this studio are different.
Of course.
And there's no point being under pressure. Because you did this, I also want to do it. We all have our parts of life. We all have our ways. We all have our destiny defined and clear. We have different signage on our part of life. Rather than being under peer pressure and compromise your values and compromise your etiquette and now become someone that is vulnerable to your surrounding, choose to be yourself. Choose to be authentic. Hold on to who you are. And eventually, you will soar. Authenticity is key. Authenticity is key. Choose to be original. Don't be a copycat. Copycats, you will not sustain it. For every brand in the market is built based on value and what it can deliver. A toothpaste will not choose to be, let's say, McLean will not choose to be close-up. They all have that very different ingredient.
Exactly.
You were wired differently. I advise the youth listening to me and the youth out there, do not succumb to youth pressure. And secondly, the tendency to want to get rich quickly. Materialism. Materialism. I want to make it. Joseph has a Range Rover. We all graduated from the same school. While this is now, a few years working, he had bought a Range Rover. But the word you fail to understand, how did Joseph get the Range Rover?
This is VVV.